Imagine waking up to a world where devastation is the new normal. A world where life as we know it today is only a vague memory. Scary, isn't it? This is a reality we're beginning to see unfold because of global warming. Global warming is serious and we need to treat it more seriously. It is a direct threat to our weather, our animals, and ultimately to humanity itself. Global warming is not a distant threat, but a present one. And if we don't take action, we are heading to an unrecognizable future. First, let's look at the extreme weather caused by global warming. A great example of this that we can all relate to, according to Earth Justice, is that every year the world sets new heat records. Year after year, the summer heat becomes more and more unbearable. You can just step outside and start sweating. This is all thanks to global warming. Then we have hurricanes that are progressively getting more and more powerful. According to Earth Justice, the rising global temperatures are basically a fuel and they intensify these already destructive hurricanes. Just recently, we saw a perfect example of this in Florida and surrounding states, where Hurricane Helene killed about 121 people. Not only do we have more powerful hurricanes, we also have an increase in precipitation that leads to flooding. This is due to the fact that natural and human-made drainage systems can no longer keep up. As you can see, the effects of global warming on our weather are very present and evident. Next, let's talk about the devastating impact of global warming on animals. First off, it causes habitat loss. The rising temperatures break and alter the balance in the ecosystems, ultimately making habitats uninhabitable for animals. Habitat loss also leads to food scarcity. Global warming directly affects the food and water sources for animals, forcing wildlife to migrate in search of food and shelter. In the end, a lot of animals will die of starvation or in search of what they no longer have in their destroyed ecosystems. According to the IFAW, this ultimately will lead to the extinction of animals that are already struggling to survive. Many species simply cannot keep up and adapt fast enough to these constant changes. And unless we take action, we will lose a large number of species. Finally, global warming directly threatens human beings. Rising temperatures are not just uncomfortable, they are also dangerous. The warmer conditions are the perfect breeding ground for diseases. The rising temperatures and increase in rainfall increase the number of mosquitoes, which carry diseases like malaria and dengue fever to new areas, affecting the most vulnerable people. According to the World Health Organization, between the years 2030 and 2050, climate change will cause at least 250,000 deaths per year from malaria, diarrhea, and heat stress alone. Also, I would like to mention that extreme weather affects food and our food and water sources. And according to Cho, events like heat waves, hurricanes, and droughts affect our crops, our livestock, and the infrastructure that delivers our food, ultimately reducing our access to food and water. Global warming leads to economic and infrastructure damage due to the fact that extreme weather caused by increased temperatures lead to destruction of buildings, power lines, our transportation systems, and our homes. According to Chow, all of this costs us billions of dollars to rebuild and repair. Not to mention that all these factors put our lives and our safety in danger. Overall, global warming is a very real threat that we can no longer afford to ignore. The extreme weather events, from record heat waves to devastating hurricanes and floods, already disrupt life around the world. Our wildlife is losing their battle for survival, with countless species facing extinction due to habitat loss and changing ecosystems. And perhaps the most concerning, global warming is a severe threat to our own survival through disease, food insecurity, and the collapse of our infrastructures. If we do not treat this crisis with the urgency that it deserves and demands, the world we know today will change beyond recognition. It's clear that global warming is not something that we can push aside because it literally affects everything: the earth, the animals, and even ourselves. We have the power to make change, but change must happen now. Let's not wait until it's too late. Let's not wait until it's too late to act. Thank you for listening.